Welcome to PhysioYoga Online. The other day I got a very interesting question of one of my viewers. And she asked if it was possible to have active quadriceps when you do a classical forward bend with the knees bent. First, I want to explain something about a forward bend. In PhysioYoga, it is very important to do a forward bend, but with the curves of the spine in their natural form. So you don't want to bend in the back, you want to bend in the hips. To be able to do that, it's good to have the knees bent, because usually the hamstrings are way too short to be able to be flexible enough to do a forward bend just out of the hips. So to release the tension out of the hamstrings, we're going to bend the knee. But then of course it becomes a little bit more difficult to activate the quadriceps, which are the antagonistic muscles we want to use to release the hamstrings. So I will show you how we can do that. When you do a classical forward bend, the feet will be close to each other and you will try to keep the legs straight and then go in a forward bend. And you go down like this, and if you're not very flexible, like I'm not very flexible, I already feel a stress on the hamstrings. So in order to go deeper, I will start bending in my lower back. And if I then pull on my hands, I might strain the lower back. So we don't want to do that. So to do this in a better way, I'm going to bend the knees and keep the spine as long as possible and bend forward like this. But still, for a lot of people, this is quite difficult. So it's way more easy to have the feet at least hip width apart. This will help to tilt the pelvis forward so that you can have a forward bend and the spine more or less in the natural curves. So now, when you're here and you want to activate the quadriceps, especially the upper part of the quadriceps, what are you going to do is this. First of all, you're going to lift and spread the toes. This will bring the weight or shift the weight a little bit backward. Then, with the knees bent enough so you don't feel any strain on the hamstrings, you're going to let go of the weight of the spine and the head, so the upper body and the head, and you're going to push slightly into the heels so that you bring the pelvis a little bit up and more back while the head is still coming down. When you feel then to the quadriceps, especially the upper part of the quadriceps, you will feel that they tend to activate. If you want to activate them a little bit more, you're going to push down the heels and twist them a little bit towards the outside. That will tend to activate them a little bit more. But you just want to straighten by pushing the heels down. You want to straighten a little bit without feeling too much of a strain on the hamstrings. If you straighten too much, you will not be able to keep the quadriceps active. Okay. So in everyday life, a way we use a forward bend like this with the active quadriceps is when we want to lift something. When you want to lift a small or a bigger weight from the floor, it's interesting to use this forward bend. And I call this the monkey position because it looks a bit like a monkey. So for people not doing yoga but just wanting to do a forward bend to lift a weight in a proper way without straining the back, you do the same thing. You're going to lift and spread the toes, and with bent knees you're going to shift the pelvis backward and keep the spine in its natural curves and coming down like this. If you need to go deeper, you can even open the knees a bit more so you can take something from the floor. So I'll show again. This might look a little bit like a monkey. That's why I'm calling this the monkey position, and it's easy to remember. So your weight is in the heels, your pelvis is back, and your back is in its natural curves. So this is a very good exercise also for people with back pain, to help to become more strong in the legs so that the power of the legs can release the lower back. Thank you for watching this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask and I will try to answer as good as I can. See you next week.